Hi everyone, I'm going to show how to make a density map by using this plugin which basically help you to create some grid layer, and in this case we are going to use the hexagon grid layer. So hexagons are mostly useful, for example, if you have a very bunch points data set that you want to display, for example with crime, with accidents, with maybe electricity, grid points, etc. The hexagons are always good for you to just know how many clusters of a certain occurrence or events do happen in that specific hexagon dimension. So that is what we are going to do, and I have this data set. I'll put the source in the description. This is just a point data. It has a large long, and I think it's displaying even population from BC also. I'm not sure how they get population from BC, but from somewhere to, oh no, not this column. Yeah, from 3700 to the year 2000. So the whole idea is to just display a population density with hexagonal grid layer. So not so much detail into if the data set is correct or not. So the first thing that we will do is to import our data set, and I've already tried this. You can see the results here, but just to duplicate it for the purpose of this tutorial. So we add our data set, and now we have a data set for the entire world. What we can do is to extract only for India. So we just bring our world data set, our world layer, and we will try to extract only India. I think there are a lot of ways you can do, but I always try to do the select by location. I think India should be yes. So once it's selected, you can always extract it. So you see India layer. I'm saving everything here, but I would like to create a new folder so that it doesn't mix up with what I have. So I'll add the layer, and now I will just try to create a grid across this layer extent. And to do that, you can install this plugin, is MMQGIS. If you come here and you type MMQGIS, you will see this plugin there, and you can read what it does, which people made it, and how it's used. But I've installed it already, so I'll just go to create, and then I go to create grid layer. You have different geometric types, and we will choose hexagon. Our current layer will be the world map, and the spacing, I've tried it before. If you choose one, you get this space then, but I think to get a very good visualization, it's good to even split it a bit more, even like 0.2 or so. I will save this, and then I'll call this grid layer. And always naming your files are also really important. So I already posted some tips on how to manage your data properly. So please check that out also. I will apply. It will take some time, but let's see. So I had to pause it because the 0.2 spacing took a very long time for it to do so. please make sure that you also experiment to see if you really like the outputs. I don't really like 0.9, but it's way better than 0.2 or even 0.5. But the one I did before, this particular one is actually, I think the spacing is 1. So I will close this and then I will delete these ones, so I'm not need them again. So what we have to do next is to select all the point layers that fall within the grid. And to do that, I think we will use select by location, and we are going to select from grid 4. I think population data with the grid layer, and we will choose the intersect. Sometimes people also choose within, but yeah, I would always like to use the intersect. So we will run this also. So because the spacing are still smaller, that is why it's taking some time to load. So I think I made a little error here. So what you have to do is that this particular one will be the grid layer, and then you use the world boundary for it if you like. It's also a good idea to use the Indian boundary that we have. So I will run this. So once it is done, we have a layer here now, so you can just go to save selected feature as. You can see that it's selected. Make sure that it's also selected. Okay. So now we can just maintain this or just turn it off. And then we have also this here. What we want to do next is to count the number of polygon, or just to compute the density. It's not really a proper way of calculating the density, but we just want to count the number of polygons, the number of population point data that falls within each polygon, and then on the basis of those counts we can know the density also. And I think even without computing that, you could see that the density is along this route and along this side. So what we can do here is to also go to the vector, and in the analysis tool we can get a count points in polygons. Polygon is the India layer, and the point is this particular one. We will leave this as it is, and then this also you can leave it, or you can just name it as density, or even I would like to also save it to file, and then we call it India density. We will run this, and with this one okay, it's just added the whole thing, so this is not what we are looking for. So we need to try it again. So we need the grid layer as well as population points. I think what I can do next will be after this, then I just clip only for India. I think that will work. Let's see. Upon the second check, I realized that if you also click the data sets initially, like the population plus your hexagonal grid layer, that is always the best choice, I think. So make sure that you clip it to your area of interest before computing the count point in Polygon. This is a temporary file, so I will just export it. And so hex this layer. So what you see with this one is that it also have the count, or aka density, for each polygon, and to know if this is indeed polygon, it has just the min max values also here. So yeah, basically we are done. We just have to perform some visualization, displaying the counts, and we will click on classify. Like I always say, symbology is always a little bit tricky because you can explore different types and you are always not satisfied with the best one. So you can see that I did this one here. I did this one here in also. So just try to experiment with different parameters. I'll also share this map template for you in the description. So I will not be going through the layout because that takes a lot of time to do it, but you can just use this template and then try to see if you can perform different visualization on it. I think here you can display it in red, green. So it looks like this doesn't make so much sense because the black ones are the low values, the high values, and the red one are low. So I'm just need red. This class, okay. So lower ones, the black ones and the red ones, you can also experiment with different mode to see which one also works for you. So that is why I said mostly it takes a little bit of several adjustments to really convince of which one you can use. But yeah, basically that is the concept. First you need to install this, create your grid by selecting the hexagon type. Once you are done, you just select all the points that are falling within the hexagon for India, so by also clipping only to India, and then the final step will be to also use the vector to count points in the polygon, and then you have something like this. What I mostly do with the layout, because it takes a lot of time to do, there are also some QGIS layout apps that you can just download any type of your interest and then import them over here. If you go to layout, you can always add them, and you can change the grid size from let me see. Okay, it's covered it, but you can always change it from A4 landscape to portrait and so on and so forth. So that is it. I will share this one. I'll share this one and that one also. in the description, and you can just download it, try different symbology types, and then you can also make a population density with an hexagon grid. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you have further questions, you can put them in the comment, and please don't forget to subscribe.